My name is Hassan Rahaman. I have a question for Happily Entangled AF. Is marriage hard?
Wow, that is an incredible question to field from a 9-year-old who, by the way, have come to understand looks at the marriage vlog religiously every week. So thank you very much for that, Hassan. We met up with him for the very first time a couple weeks ago at a Muslim bazaar in San Fernando, and this was the top question on his mind and the question that we hope to be able to answer in this week's edition of the marriage vlog, Happily Entangled AF. So welcome now, officially and formally, to episode 16.
So, is marriage hard? Well, it depends on who you ask, because everybody will have a different opinion and a different perspective on it. So we thought instead of the two of us trying to answer that question, we reached out to a few friends who have been married for different numbers of years, and we thought we'll get help from them. So, is marriage hard? Let's find out.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariessa Ann.
And I'm Nathan.
And we were asked to answer the question, is marriage hard? So I think like maybe we can answer it at the same time.
Yeah.
In one word, ready? 3, 2, 1, no.
No, it's not. Because any kind of commitment right now, the commitment we have makes my life easier. I don't know about you, but I know my life got sweeter.
And well, I don't know, I'm a little more philosophical and stuff. What? For me, I think like our partnership definitely comes with challenges as anyone else's would, but I feel like we're just at a place right now, and I think everybody should strive to be at a place where you can really look at yourself. So every single challenge that we have actually kind of forces me to look at myself and be like, maybe this is something I need to work on. So I feel like it's easy when you have that ability to look at yourself.
And you're open-minded, because I also have a few flaws, and when those things are highlighted, I take it as constructive criticism and try to better myself. So that one makes me better. That's why having somebody that has a microscope on your life is important. It helps you identify flaws you may have, and you know how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that answers your question. Is marriage and commitment and dedication to someone, is it good? I say once the right person, 100% yes, go for it. And you'll know when it's the right person, because guess what? It feels so good.
Hi Hassan. My name is Adam.
And I'm Anna.
And you asked the question, is marriage hard? I'm a no, but we haven't really talked about this either.
Yeah, we've never really addressed this question in our marriage, but I guess looking back, yes and no. And I like to think about it as like a friendship, like being married to a best friend, which may sound really weird to a 10-year-old, but when you get older, hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense to you.
Yeah. It's like a best friend, a person you want to spend like every single waking moment of every single day of every single year with them, doing activities, having so much fun with that person. And at the end of the day, you're like, I can't wait for tomorrow to do it all over again.
But not only that, so when you have maybe bad days and you're sad and something bad happens to you in school or with other friends, your best friend is always there to help you out and maybe give you some advice or just listen to you. It's also like that. It's that communication that you have with your best friend, that you talk back and forth, that you try to work through your problems. That's what we feel that marriage is like, because that's what it's like for us.
Yeah. I want to spend more time with you.
Me too.
No.
Except for when we fight. Just kidding.
Hopefully that answered your question. Bye.
Bye.
Is marriage hard? Well,
yes, it is. I mean, two different people, two different backgrounds, woman, man, lifetime, cricket. I mean, there's bound to be some issues popping up from time to time.
I personally would say marriage is very hard. Two different people, completely different, not completely, but different backgrounds, different likes, different opinions, perspective, everything is different. A lot of things tend to be different, but it's all about working together and compromising.
Compromise is very important, and communication. Even more important is communication. Talking to each other, letting each other know what's going on, what's the plan. These things are very important. So it is hard.
It's definitely hard.
But it is as hard as you make it to be.
Correct. So It's all about that communication, all of that talking. You're going to disagree.
They compromise. She loves dal and rice. I mean, if I dal once a week, I find that's plenty. Luckily enough, she gonna make two things, something for you to eat, something for me. I mean, it's a compromise, but all those things are examples of stuff you go through. I love to fish. Sun, outdoors, bush, not her thing. Again, it's a compromise. Spend your time piece by piece. Allocate your time as best as possible.
Most important. So yes, hard, work together, just try to make the best of it, communicate, compromise, meet middle ground, and your marriage should be fine.
And I don't know what life would be without this young lady by my side.
As different as we may be.
So.
Hi Hassan, my name is Rendell.
And I'm Melina.
And we've been married for the last 4 years.
So to answer your question, is marriage hard? Marriage can be hard at times. It depends on how well you communicate and how much you work on things that concern you basically.
Remember, a marriage is between two people, and of course these two people have to have similar goals. They have to want the same things. So it's a lot of give and take. You have to know when to give and when to take.
And whatever problems arise, you have to be open to understand each other's perspective and put in the work to get that result that you're looking for. Whether it be with your schoolwork and you want to master mathematics, you have to practice the problems. It's the same thing with your problems in your marriage. You have to work at it until you find a solution.
Yes, so ultimately marriage is as hard as you make it. It could be really easy or it could be really hard. It's according to the amount of work you put in it.
Thanks Fazeer and Asma for including us on this question. Bye.
Alright Hassan, is marriage hard? Man to man, I'll answer your question with another question and ask you, what do you want from marriage? Because I think the answer to is marriage hard depends on what you want from marriage and how you approach all of it, So for me, answering the question of what do you want from marriage, I will tell you that firstly, I knew what I didn't want. I remember being as young as you are right now and looking on at other married couples in my family and, any other married couple, aunties and uncles, etc. At that time, and paying attention to their marriages and to the relationships that they had, who were quarreling all the time, who were married for long periods of time, but they didn't look happy at all, and who would be in vehicles together and I'd never see them talking to one another or smiling. And I knew firstly what I didn't want. So for me, what I expected from marriage started to form, loosely so, when I realized what I definitely didn't want and wasn't going to settle for. Later on, I started to learn about myself and about the things that I did in fact want, so I realized that, okay, I wanted someone that I could be compatible with. I really wanted somebody that I could share a life with. I wanted companionship. I wanted somebody that I could go and see the world with, somebody who'd be, it'll be like a best friend kind of relationship. And I could go on and on about my list, but there were things that I was really looking for, and that helped me to weed out the things that weren't important. So when I knew what I wanted, I knew the personality of the person that I wanted, and I just had to find that in a person. So I didn't care how that person came packaged. That meant that I didn't really care about how that person looked or anything like that. I just wanted the package, the personality traits, So what I didn't want was the first point. The second point is what I actually wanted. And then the third point is this. You're not going to get what you want if you aren't the kind of person to attract the person that you want. In other words, if you want a person with all these wonderful traits, great, that's a good ambition to have. But is the person with all those wonderful traits going to want you and want to be with you? So the third point is that you have to start working on your own personal development as a young man growing up, Hassan, because even the people who will tell you that marriage is really hard, I want you to know that most people tend to blame their partners, but forget that they themselves are 50% of the marriage and are 50% of also the problem, So if you work on yourself and you make yourself a better man, a better human being, a better person, a better partner, that's 50% of your problems that you could just eradicate altogether. So the best way to prepare for marriage right now and to ensure that your answer to is marriage hard is a no is by working on yourself to be able to attract the right partner to have the marriage that you want. I know it's kind of long-winded, but I didn't think it would have been right for me to just answer the question, is marriage hard, and say yes or no, without taking the time to explain this to you the way that I would have hoped somebody would have explained it to me when I was growing up. And I hope that this answer saves you time, headache, and heartache in pursuing the person when you get old and are ready for it, the person that is right for you, and making you into the person that will be right for that right person for you.
So Hassan, I got lucky because Fazeer did his work and he did his research and he knew exactly what he wanted. And like he said, 50% is me and 50% is him. So when we signed our marriage contract, I have 50% of the shares and he has 50% of the shares in this relationship. So we want to get dividends or rewards. So just by me smiling with him every day, you know, I'm taking the time to have respect for him. We have different opinions, but we do have respect and we value each other's opinions. And sometimes we won't agree on everything, but that's okay. We just have to not make things escalated and don't quarrel about stuff. You know, like I grew up maybe not hearing my parents quarrel over things, and so that was something that I took from their marriage and brought into my marriage. So, you know, I wouldn't raise my voice at Fazeer. We may have disagreements and that's okay. But for the greater part, I think marriage is fun. And I think your partner makes that easy for you. And Fazeer has done that for me. So we have a lot of fun together. And I would say, no, marriage is not hard. But you still have to work on it, you know? So every day I wake up with the intention of making this a good day. And I try to live my day like today would be my last day. So that way I'm going to give my best. And I think you would do great at marriage, especially at your age. You are already thinking about these things. Most children don't think about it at this age.
Well, Hassan, that was quite a mouthful from both Asma and myself, but I hope that we have been able to answer your question, and if there are any doubts, you can feel free to ask us any follow-up questions, and we will be delighted to share answers with you in our comments down below, even if it means that we got to reach back out to some of the couples who helped us to answer the question today. I would like to thank you for your question today, Hassan, but I also want to thank all of the other couples who would have participated and helped us to answer this question. Huge shout out in particular to Anna D and Adam, who are in the US of A, and we don't know them personally, but we follow their marriage vlogs as well, so you can check out their channel. We'll put the link in our description as well. And we just reached out to them and said, hey, we got a problem, we got a 9-year-old boy with a question, and they were all too happy to oblige and share some more marriage positivity, which is what our marriage vlog is all about. The other thing, Hassan, is that as much as we hope that this would have answered your question, we also kind of know that it might have helped even some others, and maybe even some couples who are already married, but don't tell them we know that.
Well, thank you for viewing today. We've come to the end of episode 16, and we want you to remember to like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. And we are going to be doing a live for our cutest couples who share their picture with us, and we will be telling you who the winner is and their prize. By
a live stream. That'll be our first live on the channel.
Correct.
So stay connected to our YouTube channel and in particular on our Facebook page.
Yes.
We'll share the details with you as to when we'll be going live to give you the results and what the prize will be as well.
Yeah, so stay tuned. And until we see you next time, bye for now.